Alright guys, happy belated New Year. This is my first video of 2018, and it's going to be a simple one, an intermediate type of guitar lesson for nailing down your minor chords. Now before we begin, I made a video about how your chords, bar chords connect, and it's based on like the real train of the CAGED chord system, and that video should be linked below. And that was done in majors, and we had a C major shape and an A major shape and the G major shape and the E major shape and the D major shape, and they all connected, and that video will be there for you. You should take a look at that first. And then at the end of that video, I gave you three minor chord shapes, just so that you had some minor chord shapes to handle when you're playing a song. This is going to be a complete minor CAGED chord system. It'll offer some new stuff and some new insight, but nonetheless, you'll see those three patterns that I referred to earlier pop up again. So let's get right to it. The minor CAGED chord system is more of a doozy than the major CAGED chord system. The major CAGED chord system, you can play all the 5 CAGED chord shapes quite easily, and in the minor CAGED chord system, not so much. There are 3 that are very easy to handle, hence they were on the earlier video, and there are 2 that, you know, you're not going to play them a lot live because they take a lot of like stretching, but you want to know where they are. And I'll give you an example of a couple of them in a song, I believe. Okay, so let's get right to it. Our CAGED chord system usually starts on the C, but the C minor shape is really again, a doozy. So we're going to start on the A. And in a CAGED chord system, it is very important to understand that everything connects in the C, A, G, E, D fashion. Always C, A, G, E, D over and over again. So if I'm going to skip over my C right now, we will get to it very soon. I'm going to go right to my A. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend to play a C major chord. And in this position, we could play a C minor chord, but we're not going to do it here. We're going to connect it right here on our ring finger and put our first finger there, and we're going to play our A minor shape, which is this. This looks like the A minor chord. Again, you know, this is nothing new to anyone who watched that video earlier, but you want to start taking some very special notes, which is this is the A major shape, this is the A minor shape. And you got to make sure that, you know, that you can answer quicker than anything. The difference between a major chord and a minor chord is one note, and that's the third. It's either a major third or a minor third. So when you want to try to identify where the important note is, or where the note is that makes the chord major or minor, it is the note that physically changes in your chord structure. So this is your A minor shape. So since I'm rooted on the 3rd fret, this is really a C minor chord, but it's the A minor shape. Now, right now we get to a cool shape that has 2 voicings, the G minor shape. Now, the way this works is your A minor shape has a root note here and a root note here. So in any CAGED chord system, you're going to go to the fret where that root note is. Now, the regular G major shape, as discussed in the video before, that's linked below, you get the point. This was this G major shape here. And if we look at this guy, this is like what I refer to as the thick version. The frets are going to be 8, 7, 5, 5, 5, and you're not going to play the high E string. And if you look, this ring finger here holds the major third. So what we got to do is we got to flatten this. So our middle finger comes in, and now we have 8, 6. The problem is that we can play it 8, 6, 5, 5. That's it. You can't play these 2 strings, the B and E string. So this is a G minor shape, 8, 6, 5, 5. It's good if you want to put a little bit of like, I don't know, like rhythmic components in, where you're playing. You want to have that flow to it, but as a chord, it's very thick. Now, the thick shape also has a thin shape. What you're going to do is you're going to leave your first finger barred on that D string on the 5th fret, okay? And you're going to, that note is in the chord, okay? And you're going to leave it there, 5th fret, and then you're going to take your pinky and you're going to bar it on the G, B, and E string on the 8th fret. This, strummed from here, from the D string, is a minor chord as well. And to spot the minor third, just to let you know, this is your major third. When you flatten it, that's out of our shape. You can't pull. That note is here. Oh. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. So you have the thick shape with the minor third right there, and you have the thinner shape with the minor third right here. Now those notes are important. Those notes give the chord its identity. So again, in the CAGED chord system, these shapes connect. We started with the A because the C is the worst. So we'll get there. So the A minor shape, you have a root note on the nut side and you have a root note on the bridge side. You take that bridge side root note just like before and you're going to put your first finger there. This G minor shape has two shapes, the thick end and the thin end. This is tasty. I like that guy for funk. All right, so anyway, so now we have our nut side root note, and our bridge side root note is right on the 8th fret, just like it was for the G shape in the other video. It's right where our pinky is. That's where it is. And what we're going to do is you're going to take your first finger and you're going to go for that E shape. Now, if you see, you're probably like, hey, Ian, you're playing an E major shape. Well, all you got to do is pop off that guy. This is something we discussed in the earlier video, right? And this is your E minor shape. So really quickly, these are all C minor chords. I started here with my A minor shape, which connects right there to my G minor shape, any which one you choose. And that connects right here to my E minor shape. Now, in the video earlier, I keep referencing that. If you haven't gotten the point, go watch it. This pinky here is the bridge side root note. So I'm going to put my first finger on that fret, and we're going to bar. You can bar on the A string, but for this guy, I'm just going to bar on the D string right there on the root note. And we can play this D minor shape chord. This might seem familiar to your Grateful Dead fans out there. This is the chord shape that starts off Althea. Okay, so here we have the D minor shape, and you can see it's very similar. Like when I play my major shape, I kind of take that middle finger off. But that note right there is the minor third on the let's see, 11th fret of the high E string. So there's my D minor shape. It would be 10, 12, 13, 11, and you can see how this looks like a D minor. So to recap, A minor connects to G minor, connects to E minor, connects to D minor. And now get ready. Here we go. All right, so I have a root note on the nut side of that chord. I have a root note on the bridge side of the chord. That is what we're going for. But we got to take this slowly. There's two workable shapes for this. One which is easy to do and one takes a little bit of stretching. This note where your pinky is, you're going to put your ring finger there. So that's the 13th fret of the B string. Your index finger is going to play the 12th fret of the G string, and you stay there. You stay like this. I'm going to show you when I play this chord, it came from these two notes are what we're trying to grab with different fingers. So you have your ring finger and first finger. Now your middle finger is going to go to the 13th fret of the D. That's the magic note. Okay, it's hard, I'll explain it, but this is the first C minor shape chord you want to learn. There's my root note. Okay, that's the 5, and this is the minor third. And stay frozen there, because I want to explain this. If you look at a regular C shape like this, okay, there's that major third, and we have to flatten it. That's the 14th fret of the D string. So we have to flatten it to the 13th fret. When we do, if I were to ignore this note, just these guys here, I get that shape that we're talking about. Now this guy right here is a real C minor shape chord. If you are on the thin enough side of the guitar where your pinky can stretch up to that root note, which would be on the 15th fret, this is a full C minor shape chord, where you can kind of pluck this and play. But this guy is the most workable. This guy, if you need to thicken it up and you can stretch out. So then there's your root note there. This is now the bridge side root note, and it goes back to the A minor shape. Really? So what we're going to do is I'll do it one more time, and then I'll do it on a different root note so we can experience it. I'll have a chart for this one just in case you need to visually see it, but this is the full minor CAGED chord system. So I'm going to stick with the C minors for now. Here we go. Here's your A minor shape, root note, connects to the G minor shape, root note, or root note, any way you want to do it. Okay? This connects to the E minor shape. Here's a root note and a root note. And then here's your root note here. It connects to the D minor shape. Here's your root note and your root note. And then it connects to the C minor shape. And back with that root note to the A minor shape. It's really tight up there. All right, so now, let's do it again. Let's just play a totally different chord. Let's start on the D minor shape on the 2nd fret, which takes some stretching, okay? So 2nd fret of the D string, and you can play that D minor shape here. Okay? So it's 2, 4, 5, 3. This takes some stretching. If you can't physically do it, it's okay. Just imagine it and work at it. You got to practice this stuff. Oh, a quick word of advice. A lot of students, and I just had this conversation with one of my students, Michael, you know, if you can't get a chord, you don't need a thinner neck, you don't need a wider neck, you don't need anything. I mean, these are sausage fingers by definition. You just need to practice and stretch it. So you're going to have your favorite chord voicings based on the physical ability of your hand, but the ones that, like, you know, don't really work that well, you want to keep on practicing them. They will get better. You don't need a smaller guitar or a bigger guitar. You just need to practice, okay? And you'll get there. I promise. I got there. All right, so you have, this is your D minor shape. This is on an E, so this is an E minor chord. Okay, now it connects to our C minor shape. There's those two notes referred to earlier, the root and the 5. Okay, so you can put your ring finger on that root, middle finger on the 5, and you're going to tuck in that middle finger to make the C minor shape. Now you can play just like this, but if you want to stretch up that root note here, you can get it there. There's your nut side root note. It connects to your A minor shape. Bam! Yeah, that's the easy one. It's like, whew, thank you. And then there's a root note on the nut side, a root note on the bridge side. All right, and then we're going to go to there, and you play your G minor shape. You can play your thin one or your thick one. And then here's your root note here or here, and you can go to your E minor shape, and that will connect via that pinky back to that D minor shape, which is super tight. By the way, I have a creeping suspicion this is the first chord in Llama by Fish, this E minor here. I kind of hear that. But anyway, all right, so there's that. So let's see a couple of those in action. Now, I know that... So, as you know, my favorite band is this band Fish. I'm not trying to push it on you. It's just learning some things from their chord, from their song vocabulary helped me understand some things. So there's a song they have, and you can click it. You can turn this off if you want to. There's a song they have called "Sample in a Jar." And again, sorry, "Sample in a Jar." I said that quite quickly. And if you look up the album version, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. I just want you to listen to the intro. The intro is very, very cool because it uses all these chord shapes. Not all of them, but it uses a majority of these chord shapes in a cool way. And if you want to learn a cool intro and just get your chord vocabulary working not only by like physical nature, but working together, it's a good song to practice. It's what I learned from the song. So it starts off with an A, a C-shaped A chord up here. Again, you have to have seen that video linked below first, okay? But what he does is he doesn't play, this guy just plays this little piece of the A chord. So 9th fret bar, C shape, remove that pinky, adjust it for a little bit of like comfort. You have, there's that first part. Then he comes, with that ring finger, he comes down, and he just plays this C chord. Now, this is the innards, and this is what I want to show you. You're playing the 10th fret D, 9th fret G, and 8th fret of the B. And this is an E-shaped chord, but it just has the main guts of it. That's the major chord. That's the 1, 3, 5. So he goes from this A-shaped chord, this C-shaped A chord, barring the 9th fret, moves down to 10, 9, 8 to a C chord, comes back to this C-shaped chord right here, which is a G chord on the 7th fret. Then he does something very cool, which is very acceptable in all genres of music, is he's going to mentally play the A-shaped D chord here, but he plays, you see that little guy? Boom, boom, boom. He plays the first finger here, and he comes in. And this is a cool move, because I'm going to show this to you. Hopefully this makes sense. This is your A-shaped D chord, which connects to your G-shaped D chord. And there's these two chords, and he's kind of riding the line between them. He hits it here, comes in, and that's a little major third of the G shape. It comes back to it. So you have this A-shaped chord. Sorry, my God, I keep on saying that C-shaped A chord to the E-shaped C chord, the little innards of it, which you can always do if you want to. C-shaped G chord on the 7th fret. Fun little time with that D chord. Then it comes down to the A chord here, which is the E-shaped chord. Ba-ba-boom. Same thing. You can always do this if you want to like thin out a chord. Instead of playing this, you can play the little innards. Comes down 1 fret with that ring finger, goes to the C-shaped E chord. Again, not playing... Sorry, I'm looking at my screen. I know I should be looking at the camera, as someone stated. Instead of playing the pinky, he just lets go and strums up the string. So he has the A, down to the E, and a very cool move, switches to E minor. There's that C minor shape. Okay, so there's the C major shape to the C minor shape for the E chord, making it E to E minor, and then rides that ring finger down right to that 3rd fret to a D. So his intro... little bit of everything in there. All right, hope I did my job. I'll make a chart for you if you need it, just to visually see how those minor chords connect. My advice to you is that you go look up songs that you know or don't know, look up the chord versions, and see if you can start just putting these chords in different places and getting your physical vocabulary opened up. Because, you know, I'm all about improvisation, and knowing your chords is 100% the battle. It is. And so I hope that these new shapes helped you out. I want you to try and incorporate them if you can into any songs that you know, into your jams, anything that you're working on right now, and really make them a part of your vocabulary. It's super duper important. Anyway, welcome back to Stitch Method 2018. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's see if the audio actually worked this time. Bye, guys.